Oh my God! All right.
Yo, like, look, I will be the first one to say, look, with dad bods in, and the men that you were describing, I know that there are boys out there that believe what you think is true.
A lot more boys than men.
But I will say that every man does have a preference.
Okay.
Now, me myself, I have a preference of thick women. I love that your assets be enlarged to the point that you walk into a room. Damn right. That your assets be enlarged to the fact that you walk in a room and motherfuckers got to break their neck real quick. Like, god damn, that's you? Hell yeah. Now, but I understand what comes with that. And again, in my circle, we talk about this, and each one of my boys are also into thick women. The ones that are actually wifed up and have wives and girlfriends, yeah, they have extraordinary assets that we enjoy. But what comes with that we know is the thickness and the softness that comes with the body that we look for. This might be a little fupa. Like, I 100% understand that, and we accept that. Like, but I know there's dudes out there that also like the idea of, and I'm not trying to disrespect no female, but the skinny chicks with the body that, I looked like when I was 12 years old. Like, and there's dudes that are more focused on that, and those are the people that have the ideology. So if you got a little something peeking, a little roll or something, a little stomach over the belt line type shit, they gonna come at you and they gonna tell you something different. But however, the male with the actual preference, I think it's actually physically impossible if you think about it, that she can be super thick without a little something extra.
That is physically impossible.
May I do this and you jump behind me?
Hit it.
Please.
Again.
I want you to tag team me on
We
this.
go back to, yeah.
All right, now.
So we need another dude.
Now, Nikolai G, understand this. I have the utmost respect for you because I know you enough to know that this is true. And I've also known the men that you are talking about. But, and like I said, jump in when I'm done with this.
Sure.
They're married. So that
not
means
all of them.
they're married or in committed relationships. Can we agree?
Not even all of them.
Nigga, whatever.
We'll go with some.
We'll go with some. The ones that I know you're talking about are either married or in committed relationships.
Or they're just hoes, but they have a preference.
Quantify.
I'm just letting you know.
I'm talking about the ones that I'm talking about.
Okay.
They're either in committed relationships or they're married.
Yes.
And I've come to this because I've seen it at my job as well. I work with old and young people. The men that are married and literally have seen their wives give birth. And I remember this one guy. He was he was so sweet.
Can I defend that real quick?
Wait.
I didn't finish.
Okay, you're right. I just want that little thing. The ones that you are affiliated, they are.
Can I?
I'm just saying, they're freshly married. They haven't had babies or nothing. I'm just saying.
I wasn't done yet.
No, go finish.
So the ones that are married, the ones that are in committed relationships, and I'll bring up one coworker as an example. His wife was super skinny, like gorgeous. She had a baby, and she had a really rough pregnancy. Gained weight. She had preeclampsia. Like, she had a lot going on.
Yeah.
So because she was bedridden for so long, and she had a lot of recovery time.
That's actually something we're gonna get into later, hopefully.
Yeah,
hopefully. Something to say about that.
She had a long recovery time. She ended up gaining weight that she didn't lose right away, because once you have the baby, the fupa is there.
Yeah.
So he was so, like, I remember, like, he showed pictures, and one guy at the job got punched in the face. He did. But he was very rude and disrespectful.
Okay.
Because he showed a picture of his wife. Now, I knew what she had gone through.
Of course.
So I knew of course she was fatter than she was. But I also knew the woman had preeclampsia. I knew the woman couldn't get up.
Right.
Like, when he showed the picture, she had actually was just allowed off of bed rest after having the baby, because she had ripped too.
I would be mad. Like, don't show a picture of me at that point.
But I mean, the thing about it is, for him, that was his wife.
Right.
So he wasn't ashamed of her.
Right, absolutely.
So one of the guys at the job, trying to be funny, one of the younger guys, he was like, yo, that's your wife. What the hell happened to her? He punched the shit out of her.
As he should.
As he should.
So that, like, at work, like, you can't really assault someone else. But we all defended him, like, no, he deserved that shit.
He did.
And the guy was like, my wife is still beautiful to me to this day. Because what she went through to get our kid here, and she can take as much power. But that's a man that understands that my wife looks like this because she went through hell.
Absolutely.
But for every man, that's why I said I wasn't coming for you. For every man like that, there are men that want.
There are boys like that.
There are boys, okay, that want that whole, you got a big ass and big hips and big breasts, but your waist looks like this.
Well, good luck.
Where I'm dead ass like, that is impossible. Want to know why? I have had thick thighs since I was 7. So that's how, like,
I can attest to that.
Like, I have had big thighs my whole life. I've been called thunder thighs. I've been called everything. Why? Because my legs match my ass. I have thick legs and I have a big ass.
Hey.
I could work out until I am blue in the face, and these thighs will still be here.
But you know what? Why lose them?
Because, like, the thing about it is, like, because everybody goes for this Instagram model look where I'm like, I'm not going to get surgery.
The Instagram model look is a bit too much because more than half the time they got a big butt
well
with small waist.
And they look like
but their thighs don't match their butt.
Because their thighs look like this, like the Kim Kardashian thing with the chicken legs and the diaper booty.
That's awful. That's awful. Awful.
So like I was saying, one, if that's the dudes that you talking about that's giving you such a problem, you're dodging a bullet every single time. Because as I said, me, my circle, and the individuals that I try to include in my circle or at least have acquaintance with. The gentlemen.
The gentlemen.
You know, that should be the name of your group now.
See, I don't know why I did that because I know most of those dudes, but
no, but you know what's funny now you know if they say that was your trademark.
That was my fault. It's my fault.
But the thing about Nicolette G is men like you are harder and harder to come by. And 9 times out of 10, most of y'all in relationships because the girl saw that shit, snatched that up.
Cool.
Nah, you're not going nowhere.
Right.
Because it's really hard being out there, and again, I coworkers because I spend almost all of my time at work. Because if I'm not at work, I'm either with you guys or I'm sleeping.
That's how it goes.
So
adulting
is this right here.
On those goddamn Mondays.
I had one coworker. I will not throw names out here. So he comes and he says to all of us, "Oh, I can't stand how these how these girls look. These are real girls.
Mm-hmm.
Girls at my job and I understand why they did it. So I will not, I mean, I've said it on the podcast, guys, but I will get real here as well. I had lipo done. I had saddlebags.
It's life, man.
Yeah, I had saddlebags on my legs. I hated them. So my parents were very nice.
Why are you listening?
I thought you wanted that.
Who does? All right, sorry.
I'm not a ginger.
It's fine. That could be a blooper somewhere.
It'll be a blooper because I'm like, wait.
You see this? I'm trying to be a good host.
I've hated it and Nicolette G can attest. Like you kind of came after, but Nicolette G, I hated them for a very long time.
I gave her nothing but compliments, y'all.
And I hated them anyway. My parents were
I support the movement.
I barely know what saddlebags are.
Oh, it's like the parts of your legs that stick out.
I love that. That's more hippage.
To me it was because I look like a trapezoid in a dress.
Oh.
So my parents were nice enough and they paid for me to get lipo.
That's wonderful.
Yes. So it wasn't like I got lipo to literally suck out all the fat. It was literally just to round out. Like I still have hips. Like my grandma blessed me enough.
As long as you ain't getting no reduction.
No, I didn't get a reduction.
Damn right. Because
I didn't get a reduction.
I want to cut you for that.
I didn't get a reduction. I didn't get a BBL, although the doctor was trying to push it. Anyway.
Listen.
But I also know, and Dominique, you can speak on this as well. I know so many girls, like when you hear about the deaths that are happening with the going to get lipo and stuff like that.
Do stupid stuff like go to the Dominican Republic.
I get it, but I also understand.
Drink their liquor.
Or Mexico.
Okay.
You pulled it somewhere different. I'm just talking about the surgical.
You're going
I'm just talking about the surgical.
But I'm saying like the pressure that girls are under now to look like that.
Yeah.
So it's just literally like when I heard my coworkers say, "Oh, I hate how crazy these girls look," because a lot of girls at my job, we get work bonuses. I, pay my tuition. They, they got, because like I said, my parents paid for my lipo. Thank you, mom and dad.
Oh, bonus.
Thanks, mom and dad.
Like, I realized that sounded really privileged there. Yeah. But I did.
Take your privilege at the door.
Take it.
But my parents paid for it because they knew how much I hated it and they paid for it. Anyway.
That's wonderful.
But I know a lot of girls that went and they got BBLs. They got liposuction done. They got it so that their waist can be super, super tiny.
First, I'm not gonna lie. After I have my children,
I will get a mommy
Florida.
Surgery. I will get
I'm going to Florida for like 2 weeks. And nobody's gonna stop.
Dr. Salama girl, because that's where I would go for my mommy surgery.
Well, with my body, like I talked to my best friend about it. I do have like a lot of insecurities because people are like, even though that I'm skinny, I still have
But you don't have all the assets that you want.
I still have insecurities with my body. Like I feel like I'm way too skinny,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like how I look sometimes. I feel I feel weird because I eat so much. And my best friend was like, "Why do you always think like
guys,
that?"
I can attest
Girl,
to
when
this.
you turn
This
30.
girl, Niam,
But
Word. She could beat me in a buffet any day
and
of the week.
she'll come out looking like that. But
I wish I
that's
had
like
that.
I've heard my
But
sister
it's
say
Lord
like,
knows.
but I want a big ass, and because again, everybody's going for this Fashion Nova
Yep.
Kardashian look.
I mean, I'll buy stuff from Fashion Nova, but I don't look like those.
I don't
girls.
look like those girls.
Look,
I'm sorry.
and they do that purposely to fuck with y'all so y'all pay more to do all the shit that you're doing. You know that, right? Like, this is advertising at its best
And
for you
while
to feel this way.
There might be
Right.
a random girl or like a small population of women that naturally look like this.
That's a small.
That's a
population.
small population.
And
So
Majority will
Lord
pay for
bless
it.
y'all.
Believe
Bless
me.
y'all that do.
Yeah.
that coworker that
Yeah,
I was
facts.
talking about,
I follow him on Instagram. I know they pay for it though.
Well,
please remember that you just said that.
as long
He's
as you know.
complaining about the women at my job who got the surgery done. Now, some of them look crazy.
Oh,
Some of them look okay. But the whole point is they're all trying to fit this ideal
right.
that is out there in the world. So all I said to him was like, oh, I hate this. What happened to natural looking sisters? I want natural looking girls. So I said,
You
okay.
don't sit there and say all that.
Yeah, mind you. So
bullshit.
all I said, yo, can I see your Instagram?
Right.
That's all I said.
Whoa,
And
whoa,
yeah,
whoa, whoa.
yeah.
Wait a
And then
minute,
he
wait
was
a
following
minute.
X,
All
Y,
these
and
my
Z.
minute.
Instagram models that look
Yeah.
crazy.
Time
All
out.
right.
Time
Go
out.
ahead.
They on Instagram, one. I ain't
So?
in they DMs, alright?
I can't prove.
But that doesn't mean that's not what you're like.
It's not what I'm looking for.
you're
But do I
idolizing-
love the scenery?
Sure.
Fuck yeah.
And you're
Like-
you're
So, like, can you
idolizing
explain-
it.
okay,
You're
can you
like,
explain that to me only because I took it as I was like, so you're gonna kill these girls, and please explain it because I
Okay.
don't know. You're gonna kill these girls for trying to look like what you're following on Instagram. This is where the pressure comes from. But please explain to me what you were saying.
Okay, I'll explain that. Look, I follow some dope chicks
of
on
course.
Instagram. Beautiful.
And they
But-
claim that their bodies are like that.
No, I know
From the
that.
gym.
I'm
From
not
the
even lying.
gym?
I
From
know
the
that.
gym?
I'm
Oh,
100%
oh
no.
wait, my butt is big because of squats.
Get out of here! Stop it!
Look.
Stop it! You went to
My
the
butt is big.
doctor.
My butt's big because of Curry got that oxtail.
Look, there's a lot of individuals of this day and age that don't understand that fact, that those bodies are paid for.
That's true.
I am one of the older generations that we
That gets
appreciate.
it, okay.
That know for a fact that body was paid for.
Right.
However, am I a fan of great imagery? Yes. Would I
Yeah.
slide in these chicks' actual
You
DMs?
better not.
No.
I'd knock you up.
Well, no. Let's
But what I'm
talk
saying
to Nikolai G as if the fiance doesn't exist.
Okay.
Word.
Sep-
Even in my great
Sep-
networking days.
Right.
All right.
I
like that. We're calling it networking.
Yo.
I'm stealing.
No, I'm seriously saying like this could be a dude that watches this and goes, "That's what I'm gonna call it now."
100%. You
You
not
about to
being
get-
a hoe.
you
You
about to
just
get
met
a
a lot of
whole-
people. You networking.
You about to get a whole bunch of dudes in trouble.
Word. Now look. Now as a great networker that I want.
Maybe I'm networking. He's like, "Okay, honey."
Okay, get you that job, baby, because we about to come out.
Yeah,
And
damn
she gotta
right.
be like, damn right.
I'm about to
No,
come.
sweetheart.
Oh.
Oh,
Alright.
God.
So.
Oh,
Alright. So anyway,
Okay.
as a great networker that I once
We went
was.
there.
We did.
I'm not trying to slide into their DMs because I know for a fact what it is. Would I try to have one night with them? If given the opportunity, fuck yeah. I'm not
Watch you
stupid.
burst a booty.
The Chris
cheek,
Brown
like
rule.
you
But that's
just
what I'm
burst
saying.
that.
I also know that because for my dudes out there that actually watch the Spike Lee Netflix
I was
series,
getting ready to say, did you see
she gotta
it?
have
She
it.
gotta have
Yeah, yo. She fell and bust her booty.
Shamika sure did.
Yo, she bust
She sure
her
did.
booty.
She bust that booty cheek. And
Look,
she was
I am
getting ready to
100%
have all
okay with that.
types
Like,
of poison.
I am one of the few that, don't get me wrong, I like to look at Nicki Minaj. But at the end of the day,
You know Nikki did buy.
I know what Nicki is, and I know that I can't treat her like I would a natural woman. I gotta be delicate.
My question is,
now
with looking at Nicki Minaj, though I love Nicki,
But that's also why I
do.
respect Cardi B. I respect
Wait.
Cardi B for coming out and saying no.
Oh, okay.
I respect Cardi B in that aspect for you.
Because I was like, wait,
It's a
because we
mood.
all know Cardi done.
But Cardi
said it herself, yeah.
said it.
She did.
Which is why I respect
She
it.
did.
Cardi came out and legitimately said.
I mean, if we're gonna go that far, Nicki
'Cause we-
didn't have to say it. We can look at her before
We
and
can-
after.
But the
and
thing
know
is,
goddamn
you
well.
want to know why I
Obviously.
have an issue? You want to know why I have a problem? It's because I have a legitimate issue with the fact that Nicki will come out and be like, because I remember Nicki's older shit,
Yeah.
where she would be like, I'm in the gym doing scissor kicks, and I'm in the, and
Stop it.
I'll be like, Nicki.
Yeah. Look, I'll be the first one to say,
Yeah, we
like,
just
but I will say,
stadium
there's
picture
dudes
of
out
Frankie,
there that
that's
will
what
take, that are dumb enough to believe that that's all natural. Then there's dudes out there like myself, and believe me, I only really talk to people of my generation, if not older. So these younger generation, we try to school them, but they're gonna live by their own philosophies. I can't help that shit.
True.
So if they decide to be like, nah, Nicki's natural, or whatever face who's out there that's beautiful is natural. Look, I'm not 100%, but I'm gonna go out on a limb, 95%, that J-Lo is natural.
I do the
To
only
a point.
to a point, yes.
Yeah, like
To a
J-Lo
point.
did a lot of work because when she was a fly girl, she was a little bit on the heftier side,
Yeah.
but not too hefty.
Yeah.
But if anything at all, she might have had a little bit of a lift. And
Which
again,
I'm cool with
that's
that.
still her fact.
Okay,
Yeah.
listen, understand this.
But I'm
and-
not saying. I
But
don't
I'm
know what
saying,
J-Lo's
but
done.
it's a generational gap. So that's what I'm saying. So the dudes of today, if you wanna, put them in a box and say that this is you, I wouldn't surprise that. Plus, I can't speak for them.
Mhm.
But I will say for the individuals of me and my generation, like, we know.
Mhm.
Like, don't get me wrong, there's still gonna be some of us that says I don't give a fuck and still handle business. But there's gonna be some of us that's like, nah, I prefer the natural woman that I know is still soft and the way that I feel that fits my preference.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Understand this, and guys, only because I can't be, obviously I'm not gonna be hypocritical. If you get work done, look, if getting a BBL makes you feel better about yourself, girl, get that BBL.
Mhm.
If getting lipo because there's a problem spot, like hell, if you get lipo because working out annoys you and that helps you, get it. I don't knock anybody that gets surgery because if that works for you, that works for you. I'm not sitting here to be. I'm not sitting here to be judgmental. It's just I hate when I hear people that then comment on these girls.
Yeah.
And then make it sound like they did something wrong. Like they're going off of what society right now
Yeah.
is telling them is sexy.
Look. You judging those inferences that you have is part of a whole generation that is part of this next generation that we can't control. We tried to father them, we tried to school them, we tried to give them knowledge, but they're gonna go the way that they're gonna
Do
go.
what they wanna
And the
do.
generation after, and the generation after that, they're gonna do what they want to do. But for the generation that's actually in your generation that can,
Ooh, we got a lot going on.
we
gotta
got
talk about generations.
generations are different. But what I will say, even though the dad bods are in, like I said, I and my fellows, we do respect the fact that if we like thick women, we gotta expect a fupa. If we like skinny women, then we gotta expect not real huge assets going on.
But see,
But
I
this
like
is the
this.
expectations that you need to have for the preference that you hit.
But see, I respect that. That is being real.
I can only be that way.
But it's like I wish more men thought like you
That's
because
the
that
thing.
would make things so much easier. Like I like how you literally come out, and this is gonna be like my last thing. I like a woman with big ass and big tits.
Damn right.
So I know.
Can we
coming-
cheers to that? First of all,
I mean,
love big titties and big
I
ass.
feel away.
Yo.
because-
But then there's men.
I feel away.
I mean, I told
No
you.
shots fired.
I told
but
you, girl. If I could donate to you, I would.
Please do because
Because
don't fund me.
It
or
seems,
something.
it seems to be
go
like,
for me booty cakes.
It
all
seems
right?
to be like,
Like-
bro, if I could give to you, I mean, it's the only thing that it's one of
I'm
the
the
few
slim
things.
thick one of the crew, and I'm not with it. I
And
feel
then-
away.
but I
The
do
funny
have,
thing
like I
is,
said, I have
remember we
friends.
were both
that-
called Slim Thick, but it was for different reasons.
Mm.
And I remember somebody was like, when I was doing the, now that I can say it, thank God, the bridesmaid proposal, and I was called Slim Thick, but it was like, because it was like boom, boom, boom. It was like out, out, in.
I'm just slim thick.
Word. Look,
Slim
it is
Thick
what
on
it
the
is.
other side.
I just feel away. All I know is I have a waistline. That's all I know. That's all I know.
But it is what it is. But I'm like, yo, saying today, like, these are the things that we worry about. Like, we getting older. And the problem is like, we getting closer to, now, me and you, we're in a generation that we're like, yo, we hit a certain age, we should be a certain place. And if we're not there, then shit, we either need to get on the ball immediately or shit, did we
I
fail?
want you to go
You have to
I'm
question.
feeling real
So,
better about this
me,
right now.
like, me and you,
I want you to go.
yeah.
I will go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, me and you stated that 30 was the age where you should know what you need to know. You should be able to be where you need to be, and you should be able to have a plan straightforward for the rest of your life. But 30 is the age where you're like, you should have it figured out. Do you agree with that shit?
And Dominic, I do want you to come in here.
Oh,
at some
please
point.
do.
Hold
As a
on,
person
hold on.
that's 5 years off of this shit,
hold on,
how do
hold
you
on.
feel about 30?
Hold on a
Love
second.
to
I want
hear
you. I want to hear you go last. But hold on.
I would love to.
Look,
Hear.
I want to hear it all first.
The reason that I bring that up is because